November 24, 1971. A man in a dark suit, carrying a black briefcase, boards a Boeing 727 in Portland, Oregon. He calmly takes his seat, lights a cigarette, and orders a bourbon and soda. To the crew and passengers, he is just another businessman on a pre-Thanksgiving flight. But this man, who called himself Dan Cooper, was about to become an American legend. Shortly after takeoff, he passed a note to a flight attendant. Thinking it was just a lonely traveler's phone number, she slipped it into her pocket. He leaned closer. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." The note, written in neat, all-caps letters, confirmed his threat. Thus began one of the most audacious and baffling crimes in aviation history. Cooper's demands were precise and strangely calm. He wanted $200,000 in unmarked $20 bills, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle. He was polite, even considerate, ordering a second drink and paying his tab while the FBI and airlines scrambled to meet his demands on the ground. As passengers were released in Seattle, the ransom and parachutes were brought aboard. Cooper then instructed the pilots to take off again, this time heading south toward Mexico City. He specified the flight path, a low altitude of 10,000 feet, and a slow airspeed. The crew remained in the cockpit, warned not to leave. Somewhere over the dense, stormy forests of southwestern Washington, around 8:13 p.m., a warning light flickered in the cockpit, indicating the aft air stair had been lowered. D.B. Cooper, with the ransom money strapped to his body, had stepped out of a commercial airliner into a freezing, rain-swept night. He was never seen again. The moment the plane landed, the largest manhunt in US history began. The FBI, along with local law enforcement and military personnel, combed the treacherous terrain where they believed Cooper had landed. They searched for months, but found nothing: no parachute, no briefcase, no money, and no sign of the man himself. It was as if he had been swallowed by the wilderness. For years, the case grew colder. The FBI investigated over 1,000 suspects, chasing down countless leads that all went nowhere. The mysterious Skyjacker became a folk hero, an anti-establishment icon who had beaten the system. Then, in 1980, a glimmer of hope. A young boy digging in the sand along the banks of the Columbia River, miles from the projected drop zone, unearthed 3 rotting bundles of cash. The serial numbers matched. It was a portion of D.B. Cooper's ransom money, nearly $6,000. But this discovery only deepened the mystery. How did the money get there? Was it buried by Cooper, or did it wash downstream after he perished in the jump? The find raised more questions than it answered, and the rest of the money has never been found. Over the decades, theories have swirled like the storm clouds Cooper jumped into. Did he survive? Many experts believe the odds were stacked against him. He jumped at night, into a violent storm, over rugged, unforgiving terrain, with temperatures well below freezing. He was wearing a business suit and loafers, hardly survival gear. The chances of surviving the jump, let alone the trek out of the wilderness, were slim to none. This theory suggests his remains simply lie undiscovered in the vast forests. Yet, the idea that he made it is tantalizing. Was he an experienced paratrooper, perhaps an ex-military man with survival training? The FBI sketch, compiled from eyewitness accounts, became one of the most famous faces of the 20th century, yet no one could definitively identify him. Suspects ranged from disgruntled veterans to career criminals, but each one was eventually ruled out. Could Cooper have landed safely, ditched his gear, and simply walked back into civilization, living out his days under a new identity, paid for by his loot? 50 years later, the FBI officially closed the case, but the legend of D.B. Cooper is more alive than ever. He represents the ultimate unsolved mystery, a ghost who stepped out of an airplane and into American folklore. He leapt into history and vanished into legend. Who was he really? A master criminal? A desperate man? Or just a fool who got lucky or unlucky? And the most enduring question of all, did he survive the fall? We may never know. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you're fascinated by mysteries like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories from the files of True Mystery. We'll see you next time.